My new year started this month. I don't know about y'all, but I cannot believe that it is already the month of February. And just a little recap, if you missed any of my last videos, I was sick for most of the month of January. And so I did not get to really start off the year strong like I had intended to. However, your girl still got her goals journals done, her quarterly goals planner set up, as well as my vision board for 2025. Now, hindsight is 2020, girl, because I had put Tabitha Brown and Target on my vision board before all this stuff went down. A couple of weeks ago, but we gonna leave her there. We not gonna remove Auntie Tab. Now Tarjay, we gonna pray on it. But today I wanted to talk to you guys about my goals for 2025, the importance of setting goals to me, how I go about setting my goals and all of those things, and just looking ahead to what this year holds. So first and foremost, I went to a vision board party around mid-January. One of my neighbors and friends, Leandria, she threw a vision board party at her house with me and some of our other neighbors, and it was a great time. And I was so excited because I felt really behind, like starting the year off. I always have my vision board ready. I always have these things done and completed. And so I was really excited to be able to go to that because it gave me the opportunity to like sit down and focus and do what I needed to do. Now, I may have had the best vision board. I don't know. They will have to be the judge. I'm only telling y'all what they told me, right? And I was like, well, this is kind of what I do, stationary. You know what I'm saying? Like all those things. So to me, it was like, well, this is something that I do, so it just makes sense. But I am really happy with the way that my vision board turned out this year, and I kind of just wanted to go over it with you guys and then just talk about how I plan on accomplishing these things within this year. We'll start up here and just kind of work our way around the vision board. First and foremost, as you can see, there are some ladies here with their phone, and it says Better Together, and it says subscribe, and it says community, and it says I'm not gonna let you tell me that I can't do something that I've already done. Let time fly. You might get to an exceptional place where every moment inspires, having our way glow up. And so all of this section here, as well as choosing your partner was the smartest thing you ever did, was basically for me all about community. My goal this year is to infuse and immerse myself into building an amazing community, not only online, but as well as offline. That's something that I never really had before, was a community offline where we gathered frequently, we hung out, we did things together, whether it was brunches, whether it was kids games, all of those things. And since we have been living here, I have truly been building the community that I always dreamed that I could have. But not only that, the community online with my customers, with you guys, just all the spaces that I show up in, having a thriving and flourishing community is extremely important to me, especially because I feel like the word community gets tossed around so much now. It's almost like a trigger word, right? It's like how we say luxury and things like that. And I feel like a lot of times people miss what community actually means and they confuse it with audience. And although, yes, it's great to have an audience depending on what your goals are, for me, it's always going to boil down to having a community I can depend on, a community I can share my dreams, my goals, my aspirations with, a community where I can hear their dreams and their goals and aspirations and help them get there, a community that prays for me and I pray for them. Like, that for me is everything. So it's at the top of my vision board for that reason. Choosing the right partner was the best decision I ever did, and it is so true. Like, having my husband as my life partner has literally been my secret weapon, and I'm so grateful for him. Then we drop down into wisdom. This year I want to exercise wisdom on a whole nother level, because I feel like God has really graced me with wisdom. He's really given me that gift, and I want to make sure that I tap into it, that I am not just out here making rash and haste decisions, and that I'm thinking before I'm doing this year. And then I'm trying to move like Auntie Ree. Okay, I'm trying to move like Riri. Billionaire fee is what y'all gonna call me one day. Y'all don't even know it. Okay, but I'm telling you right now, Big Fee, it stands for billionaire fee. My friends call me Big Meech. It's a reason for that, okay? But I love the Who's That Girl because I feel like this is the year for me to show up, to fully be Felicia Jarell, not Felicia Jarell, the owner of Gold Mine and Cocoa, not Felicia Jarell, the girl that makes the fire shower oils in the glow up boxes, not Felicia Jarell that can teach you about business, but like, this is the year that I want to fully embrace who I am without trying to cookie cut myself, trying to niche myself down, anything like that. I want to be Felicia, which is always what I have desired to be. And so I want to fully step into it, from the content to the newsletter to YouTube to threads to speaking to writing to blogging. Like, I want to do it all. I also have a big audacious goal, because I believe that we all should have big audacious goals, to be on the Sephora squad. Now, I don't necessarily do beauty content every single day or anything like that, but I do aspire to be on the Sephora squad. I want to apply, and I want an opportunity to do it. So I put that on my vision board. The other thing that I put on my vision board that goes along with Who's That Girl is to stop overthinking. I have a tendency to overthink and think myself out of things, because I'm always trying to figure out how is everybody else thinking, especially when it comes to how is everybody else thinking about me, instead of just owning how I think about me and living in that truth. And so this year at 35 years old, I don't care what nobody think no more. Like, this is how I feel about me. This is how I feel about how I look, how I feel, how I show up, what I do, all those things. And that's the only guide that I'm going to be going by this year. And then I also have cut this out, which is simple ways to give thanks. One of my goals this year is to take a moment for gratitude every single day. I created this gratitude journal about 2 years ago, and it is a beautiful, like, thin journal. It's not too much. It's really easy to use. You write 3 things down a day that you're grateful for, your daily affirmation, and then what you're focused on of the day. And I absolutely love it. And my goal is to fill it up this year. Every single day, I want to take a moment. It takes less than 5 minutes to be thankful. I love this too as a reminder for simple ways to give thanks. Like, I'm going to start writing more handwritten cards this year, and just kind of going back old school to make sure that I'm acknowledging people that are impacting my lives and my life, and people that I simply want to say thank you to. The other thing is I want to get in my fragrance bag. Y'all know I love a good fragrance, baby, but I want to have my signature fragrance. Like, everywhere I go, I want people to be able to smell me and be like, oh my gosh, she smells so good. I would love some fragrance deals, like brand deals or collaborations or something of the sort. And it really ties back into like Sephora Squad and all of that. Then I want to get in shape. Okay, that's why my girl is up here. She's somewhere up here. That's why my girl is up here, because I want to get in shape. I have lost a significant amount of weight and I'm still losing. And so I want to redo my wardrobe. I have really been trying to go for this elevated casual, Olivia Pope type of wardrobe that I am just really into in this season of my life. I love the flowiness, the drapery. I love that nothing has to be too fitted and you can still feel extremely sexy. I love the layering, so I want to really like lean into that this year. I think sometimes when we do a lot, and you do work like I do, where you're taking pictures and you're recording and you're doing all these things, you feel like you always have to be sexy, or that you always have to dress in fine clothes that are like unique, I guess you can say, cut here, slit there, da 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 da. I don't want to do that. Like, I want to show what it looks like to live a very elevated lifestyle and how I dress regularly every day. Like, so that's kind of what my goal is once I get to my weight goal, I'm going to completely overhaul my wardrobe this year. Then my word of the year for 2025 is actually overflow. And a lot of times people are like, overflow, you automatically assume that it's about money, and it does have money in it somewhere, somehow, but for me, it's about pouring from the overflow this year. I've spent quite a few years pouring from depletion. My cup, my well, dry, okay, completely dry. So this year, I want to say no more to the things that, do not fill my cup. I want to make sure that when I do decide to pour, when I do decide to offer my time, when I do decide to show up, that it is coming from a place of overflow so that I can truly enjoy those moments and not feel obligated to be there. And then I did put on here Amazon business. I do want to get my business up on Amazon. I've been thinking for quite some time about starting a second line and using Amazon KDP. Consider it a more affordable line, I guess you could say, but being able to use our artwork and really just trying to get Gold Mine and Cocoa in households all across the world. So I've been thinking about ways that we can expand onto Amazon. Target was on my list. And I'll be honest, Target still is on my list. We'll have to have a conversation about that a whole nother day. I recently shared my first experience with Target on Threads. And although 90% of people did understand what I was saying, 10% were special, to say the least. And I really feel like if we're constantly at odds, right, because we don't agree with how we're going about things and all of that, we're never going to get to where we're trying to go. I do genuinely want to be on shelves, even if it isn't Target, right? If it's Nordstrom, if it's Barnes and Noble, if it's, you know, Staples or Office Depot or Walmart or whoever, my real goal is to be on retail shelves wholesale. They got the bag from me, okay? But I do want to be wholesale. So that is something that I'm going to be networking towards this year. And I put Auntie Tab on here because I love how, in my opinion, she gets paid for just being herself. And that's what I desire. Like, I wrote a goal down last year and then again at the top of this year. I want to get paid for being me. I don't want to always have to create something out of thin air. Always have to be innovative and all those things. Even though I appreciate the gifts that God have given me, I want to get paid for being Felicia, whether that's being Felicia speaking, being Felicia writing, being Felicia creating, being Felicia dressing, being Felicia living. I want to get paid for being her. And so then we move into a picture of wealth. You see the material, okay? I want to be a picture of wealth. There's no joy without gratitude, so it just really takes you back to being extremely grateful this year. Money, obviously, I like to always have a money category on my vision board because you got to see it before you can see it. I do want to be on Oprah's favorites list this year, so if anybody knows Oprah and her crew that chooses who's on the list, okay, I'm trying to get on the list. I want to learn how to golf this year and like master golfing and start doing more golfing with my husband. He wants a golf cart. He's been learning. I want to do golfing with him. What goals actually matter? That's like a question that I want to keep at the forefront is, does this goal matter? Is this goal audacious, big enough in the grand scheme of things? 5 years from now, will this matter? 5 minutes from now, will this matter if you accomplish it today? So making sure that I'm picking the right goals and not just any goal that looks good to everybody else. My cousin is getting married. And so I already know that we're going to Charleston, South Carolina. I've never been to South Carolina, North Carolina, none of them Carolinas, girl. So I'm excited to be able to go to South Carolina and explore that with my cousins. And then of course I have travel on here and you see the different cities. I want to go back to New York. I really want to travel to Japan. If that's on the list, if I can get there, I'm trying to get there. I want to go to Dubai. I want to take some vacations with my husband. Like, I just want to travel. I want to be on somebody's plane going somewhere. That is a goal. And I have Glorilla on here because main character energy. She had an amazing 2024. We all watched her glow up. Obviously, she's from Memphis like me, so I'm always rooting for her. But I just love that even with all of her growth, I feel like at her core, she is still her. And that's what I want to embody, is like, even as I'm growing, even as things are moving and changing swiftly, I still want to be me. I want to have that main character energy. I want to express myself. I want to be bold. I want to be unapologetic this year. So that's big for me. And I want to walk into my power. And then something that is truly important for me at my core is to encourage more Black women to rest. When I first started this channel, and I'm being super vulnerable right now, but when I first started this channel, I thought that in order to grow, I needed to showcase a certain type of lifestyle that was aspirational so that you guys would tune in. Like, I felt like if I was too regular, y'all wouldn't tune in. And then I just started having some real conversations with myself, having conversation with Marka, girl, having conversation with the Lord too, as far as if you want to be paid for who you are, you can't fake who you are. You have to just show up as her, whoever she is in this season of life. And one thing that me and Marka talked about, and I talked about this with some girlfriends too, is that I don't feel like enough black women see black women rest. Like, we always think we got to be working. We always think we got to be moving and grooving. We always think something has to be going on for us to be deemed worthy, for us to be deemed exciting enough to tune into. Like, I live my regular everyday life. I sit at this desk. I work hard 7 to 8 hours a day. You know, I do the content and all those things that I need to do. I spend time with my kids. I spend time with my husband. I'm going self-care till I can't self-care no more, whether that's massage, spa day, nails, hair. It don't matter. I'm going to take care of Felicia. But beyond that, I rest. I binge watch TV. I read books. I sleep. You know what I'm saying? Like, I rest. And I want us to all get comfortable with seeing black women resting and doing it well. So that is like a major goal for me this year, is to show you guys a full life, full of joy, full of gratitude, peace, and rest. And then this was another one that was big for me, being out and about, because I am not the most inviting person in person. Not that I'm trying to be a bee or standoffish. I think I naturally become a recluse, basically. Like, when I know people, if I know you and we cool, I know you, we gonna talk, we gonna kick it, da 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 da. If I don't know you, if I'm in a crowd of people, you know, all that, I'm about to find a corner, and I'm gonna stay in that corner. And and until you talk to me, I'm not saying nothing. Like, that's just me. Okay, so I want to network this year. We did not move to Texas to just be stuck in this house, you know, and not moving and grooving and making some things happen for our lives. So I want to make sure that we get outside, out in the field. And then last but not least, I already talked about health, but obviously with the super rich, you have to be charging a certain amount. Otherwise, they don't believe that you're the real deal. Now, this was a big one to me, because I feel like as a black-owned business, we are always undervalued, and not just by other cultures, but also by us as well. We always feel like we're not worth what we're asking for. Like, how dare you charge X, Y, and Z? How dare you think X, Y, and Z? How dare, you know what I'm saying? It's always like we're constantly being berated with, you shouldn't charge that much, or why isn't this cheaper? So on and so forth. And my thing is, pay me what I'm worth. Pay me because of the blood, sweat, and tears, and the research, and the time that it took to develop it, and to perfect it, and to make it excellence, and to give an experience, and to do all these things. Like, this year, I am so adamant about getting my shmoney. And if you can't give it to me, we don't need to be in the same stratosphere. Because I've spent so many years trying to accommodate the request of others at the expense of self. And so that's no longer my portion. How do I plan on maximizing my goals and getting things accomplished this year? I'm starting out by using my quarterly goals planner. This is my Systematic Success Quarterly Goals Planner. If you want to know more about that, it's all on the Gold Mine and Coco YouTube channel. But in this planner, I basically write down my goals. I'm writing what I'm focusing on here, my mini goals, and then like every single week, I can begin to break those goals down over 12 weeks. And so that's going to allow me to, at the very minimum, move the needle forward. Like, even if I don't get it accomplished within the 90 days, I should have made so much progress that there's no excuse for me to not have these goals completed by the end of the year. And that is how I plan on getting things done. I'll also be using, I just got this in the mail the other day, my goals journal. This I created back in 2019. This I use every single year. I have used it every single year since 2019. And the amount of goals that I have accomplished by leaps and bounds is absolutely insane, because it allows me to break down every single month what my goals are personally, work-wise, creative-wise, what my overall goal is, because there's a mind map in there, so I'm able to break that down into steps. But I use these in conjunction with one another. So I look at what are my goals for this month. I translate them over here as well as my personal goals. So my personal goals could be more date nights or more networking events or whatever the case may be, walking more Pilates classes, girl, just all of the things. And I refer to that, like I will keep this on my desk every day. And every day I sit at my desk, I will glance at my goals, because I need to make sure that what I'm writing down in my planner, in my notebook, just all of these things, that they're in alignment with what my goals are and what I say I want to do on this vision board. Like, there has not been a vision board that I have created in at least the last 6 years where I didn't accomplish 75% of it. Because we know some goals are just like you reach for the moon, and if you land on the stars, great. Right? Like you reach as high as you can go, and you're gonna land somewhere between ground zero and where you were trying to get to. So that's always like what I'm looking towards, and that's how I measure my success and am I on the right track. And then I look at the other goals, and it's like, did you give any effort? Did you even try? Did you pray about them? Are they in alignment with God's plan for your life? Is this what he laid out for you? Or are these selfish goals because you're trying to do something to impress other people or to get other people's applause? So that's always like what's at the forefront for me is, do the goals matter for the end result? Because I'm playing the long game. So I'm always thinking 5, 10, 15 years ahead. Like, I want to be a millionaire this year, not 5 years from now, this year. And then it's asking myself, well, why do you want to be a millionaire? Because I want to create more impact, because I want to be a kingdom financier, because I want financial security, right? Between me and my family. Like, I want us to be able to travel and enjoy life. And I want to give my kids experiences that I never had. And I want them to have more than what I've ever had. I want to make sure my parents are good. Like, I think sometimes we look at people saying these big audacious goals out loud, like I want to be a millionaire, a billionaire, things like that, as greedy or selfish. But have you ever stopped to ask them, why? Like, why do you want that to be the goal? And have you ever asked yourself? Because sometimes you'll discover some of the goals you have, you don't even want. You just saying you want it because somebody else told you that that's what needs to be your goals. And so I have learned over the years that I stick to my plan. I pray about my plan. I'm not discussing my plan with people beyond showing you the vision board and telling you the tools that I'm using. The rest of it is between me, God, and my husband. That's it, and that's all. So those are my goals for 2025. I want the business to blossom and grow. I want this channel to grow. I would love to see this channel get to over 50,000, 75,000, 100,000 followers. I want big, audacious goals because I've seen it happen. And just because it's happened for others doesn't mean it can't happen for me. And when it happens for me, it doesn't mean it can't happen for you. But you gotta be willing to think bigger and dream bigger than yourself. That's the only way that you're gonna get to where you're trying to go. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, enjoyed talking about my goals and all those things. Of course, if you're always looking for the how-to or the breakdowns, you can find them over on the Gold Mine and Coco channel. Because over here, like I said, one of my goals is to show up as me. And in order to do that, I can't hide behind the business anymore. So I will see y'all on the next video, fam. Peace.